I'm really excited because I get to bring you your fourth tool for your toolbox for the project of Habitat for Your Humanity. I personally think it's the best tool, but I also feel like it's the hardest tool to employ, and you'll understand why after I tell you what it is. But before I do, I want to get real for a second. A problem stays a problem if you just sit around talking about it. It doesn't solve itself, and the only thing it probably accomplishes is to make you feel sorry for yourself or feel bad about the situation. You end up where you started. That's why your fourth tool is da 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 da, get proactive. You have to get to work and get something done. If it's going to change, it's not going to change by itself, and you're the only person that you're in control of, and so you have to do the work yourself. So let's review once again. Hopefully you've been using all your tools so that you can actually get to the point where you can be proactive with focus. So we've used all the tools, and we're going to keep using them. We're going to keep using the idea that we're not going to take in information that makes us feel bad. We're going to keep arresting those negative mantras that we say in our heads. We're going to keep those thoughts at bay. And we're going to constantly work to get and stay clear about who we are and what we want to be. We use the adjectives that we gathered, the ones we use to describe ourselves, and the ones that people most use when describing us, to create that baseline. And from that baseline, we decided, okay, this is what's real and this is what's in my head, and we're going to work from there. Now, the best way to begin to get proactive is to figure out where you're going. You got to have a plan. So have a vision of yourself as you'd like to be, a realistic one, right? And once you get there, you're going to start a plan to say, okay, well, these are the things I need to get, and this is how I'm going to get there. Then you're going to set goals. Now, let's talk a minute about goals, because they can be kind of dodgy. Oftentimes when we set a goal, it's always hugely long-term and completely unobtainable. It's like you have to go over river and dale to get there and succeed. And that's great, because we do need that larger term goal, but I'm going to ask for the moment that you create smaller bite-sized morsels of goals that are actually obtainable in the short term. Like an amuse-bouche, if you will, of a goal. You notice how everything goes back to food? This is where I find my center. Okay. Yeah, so let me give you an example. If you've never worked out a day in your life, and your new goal and your new plan is to get in shape and get strong, and you set a goal that has you go into the gym 6 days a week for 2 hours, chances are you're going to fail. You may make it 6 days for maybe 2 hours, that first week, but after that, you're not going. Slow and steady wins the race. And even though your goals may be small, each one, once you put them all together, create the larger picture. It's a mosaic, and sometimes we think that we have to draw with huge brush strokes, and yeah, that's one way of doing it, but oftentimes for the non-supernatural, it's one step at a time. And so creating small goals that end up being that long way, or that end up accomplishing the long range plan, is just as good and should not be poo-pooed. We're talking about a lifestyle change. We're talking about a mentality change. And that's really, really important. And the thing that we want to encourage in ourselves is the possibility that we can do it, that we are capable ourselves. So now, can you kind of understand why I see this as the best tool? One, because it makes you take control and get out there and do something. It puts you right in the center of it, on the battlefield for your hopes and dreams and your aspirations for yourself. But it's also the hardest, because it puts you on the battlefield in the fight for the hopes and dreams for what you desire for yourself. And it also makes you responsible and accountable for who you are and how you show up. And where that sounds really great, it's great in theory, but when you have to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm a perfect reflection of how much effort or where I'm putting my thought or feeling, it's daunting. But I think that we can get there. I think that it's empowering because if it's not going right, then you have the power to make a change and alter your course, and you could always choose again. And the more you get involved and get in the mix with yourself and how you feel and what's going on in your head and really starting to make some choices, the better you get at it. You're not going to, be a master right out of the toolbox, but, just keep at it and don't give up on yourself. So let me know how you do with it, and I'm very excited. Good luck. Be proactive.